Hello everyone. Welcome to Fluent English Journey. I am very happy to have you here today. If you want to learn English in a simple and natural way, you're in the right place. Please make sure to subscribe so you can practice English every single day and grow step by step. Now, before we begin, let us do one small thing together. Take a deep breath. Pause for a moment. Relax your shoulders. Forget about grammar rules for now. Forget about perfect sentences. Forget about the fear of making mistakes. Also, forget what people told you about English being difficult. English is not your enemy. English is your friend. Today is not a normal class. This is not a boring lesson with rules and exams. This is something deeper. This is a wake-up call. Your English is not missing. Your English is not broken. Your English is only sleeping. And today, together, we are going to wake it up. If you ever feel shy when you speak English, this lesson is for you. If your tongue feels heavy and your heart starts beating fast when someone asks, "Do you speak English?" this moment is for you. You are not alone. Many people feel the same way. In this lesson, we will start a small but powerful journey. We will not use difficult grammar. We will not do boring exercises. We will not memorize long word lists. Instead, we will talk about real life. We will talk about mornings. We will talk about daily routines. We will talk about work, family, feelings, and small moments of life. You will slowly start to feel English. You will begin to think in English, not translate in your head. You will understand that English is not only a subject in a book. It is something you live every day. You do not need thousands of words. You do not need perfect grammar. You only need one small thing: belief. Belief that says, "Yes, I can do this." So listen carefully. Speak with confidence. And most of all, trust yourself. Your English journey does not begin tomorrow. It begins right now. Let us start. I open my eyes. The clock says 6:45 a.m. My alarm rang 3 times, but I did not hear it. Slowly, I sit up in bed. I rub my eyes and stretch my arms. The room is quiet. Through the window, I hear birds singing. Somewhere far away, a car passes by. It is a new day. I still feel a little tired, but I know the day is waiting for me. I walk to the bathroom and look at myself in the mirror. My hair is messy. My eyes look sleepy. I splash cold water on my face. The cold water wakes me up a little. I take my toothbrush and say softly, "Okay, let's start the day." While brushing my teeth, my mind starts thinking, what do I have to do today? Do I have meetings? Do I have work to finish? Maybe something fun later? The day has not even started, but my thoughts are already busy. That is how most mornings feel. A little tired, but also hopeful. A quiet feeling that today might be better than yesterday. I finish brushing my teeth and take a deep breath. One step at a time, I remind myself. I walk into the kitchen and put water on the stove. It is tea time. While the water is heating, I clean the counter and move a few dishes. Soon, the water starts boiling. The soft sound makes me smile. I pour hot water into my cup. I add tea leaves and a little milk. I take the first sip. It is warm, strong, and comforting. I open the fridge. There is only bread and butter, but that is enough. I toast the bread until it turns golden brown. I spread butter on it and sit at the table. This moment feels peaceful. I eat slowly. I drink my tea. There is no phone in my hand. No rush. No noise. Just me and the morning. I whisper quietly, "Thank you for this day." After breakfast, I check my to-do list. Send an email to my boss. Finish the report. Pay the electricity bill. Call my mom. It looks like a busy day, but I smile and say to myself, "I've got this." I go to my closet and choose my clothes. A clean shirt. Dark jeans. My favorite watch. After getting dressed, I feel more confident. Before leaving, I look in the mirror again. This time, I smile and say, "You look okay." I grab my bag, take one last sip of tea, lock the door, and step outside. It is 7:35 a.m. The sun is slowly rising. The sky looks soft and golden. The air is cool and fresh. The street is quiet. I walk toward the bus stop, my shoes tapping gently on the road. At the corner, I see the small tea stall that opens every morning. The man behind the counter smiles when he sees me. "Good morning, sir." "Your usual?" he asks. "Yes, one coffee, please." "No sugar," I reply. As he prepares the coffee, I hear two men talking behind me. "Traffic was terrible yesterday," one says. "I know," the other replies. "I was stuck for 45 minutes." I turn slightly and smile. "Same here. Mondays are always like this." They laugh, and for a moment, we are just three strangers sharing a simple conversation. It feels nice. The coffee man hands me my cup. "Careful, it's hot," he says. I thank him and take the cup. The smell of fresh coffee fills the air. Steam rises and warms my face. I take a slow sip. The taste wakes me up completely. The city is slowly coming to life. Everything feels calm. Everything feels possible. I take another sip, smile to myself, and walk toward the bus stop. A new day has truly begun. At the bus stop, there is already someone waiting. She is a young woman, neatly dressed in formal clothes. She holds a file close to her chest. She looks focused, but also a little nervous. I give a polite nod and say, "Good morning." She looks up and smiles. "Good morning." For a few seconds, we stand quietly. We hear cars passing by and distant voices from the street. Then she turns slightly toward me and asks, "Do you know if bus number 34 already passed?" I look at my watch and shake my head. I don't think so. It's usually 5 minutes late. Her shoulders relax. "Thank you. I'm going for a job interview. My first one." I smile at her. "Good luck. You'll do great. Just speak with confidence." She laughs softly, a little nervous. "I'll try. I'm still working on my English." "You're doing fine," I say kindly. "Everyone starts somewhere. Don't worry too much." At that moment, we both see the bus coming from far away. She lets out a small sigh of relief. There it is. Thank God. The bus stops and the driver calls out, "Exact change only." I tap my card and step inside. She carefully counts her coins, pays the fare, and sits near the window. I take the seat next to her. "So," I ask gently, "what kind of job are you applying for?" "Receptionist," she answers softly. It's a small office. Mostly answering phones, greeting clients, and managing some papers. "That sounds great," I say. "You'll meet many people and practice English every day. It's a good place to grow." Her face lights up. "Yes, that's what I hope. I want to improve my English and feel more confident when I speak." The bus starts moving again, passing small shops, a fruit stand, and a busy market. She looks out the window, watching people hurry along the street. "Do you take this bus every day?" she asks. "Almost every day," I reply. "I work in a marketing office near Metro Plaza." She turns to me quickly. "Really? That's close to my interview location." We both laugh softly at the coincidence. The morning sunlight comes through the window, filling the bus with warmth. For a moment, everything feels calm and comfortable. Two strangers sharing a simple conversation before the day truly begins. After a short pause, she looks at me again. "Can I ask you something?" "Of course," I say. "How did you learn to speak English so naturally?" I smile, remembering my own journey. Honestly, I used to be afraid to speak. I made many mistakes. Sometimes people laughed at me, but I didn't stop. She listens carefully. "Every morning on the same bus, I continue. I listen to English podcasts. I repeated sentences quietly in my head again and again. Little by little, it became easier. She nods slowly. That's inspiring. I hope I can do that too. I smile back. You already started. Just keep going. Just then, the bus driver calls out loudly, Metro Plaza stop. I stand up and grab my bag. This is my stop. Good luck again. She smiles warmly. Thank you. And thank you for the encouragement. I wave and step off the bus. The doors close, and the city noise surrounds me again. As I walk toward my office building, I think about that short conversation. It was simple, but meaningful. I remember when I felt the same fear she feels now. Afraid to speak. Afraid to make mistakes. Afraid of being judged. Now I help someone feel a little braver. That is what real growth looks like. Not perfection. Progress. It is 8:55 a.m. I reach the tall glass building where I work. I swipe my access card and step inside. The familiar smell of coffee and paper fills the air. The elevator doors open, and I step in. I am alone for a moment. I take a deep breath and whisper, let's make today a good day. As the elevator moves up floor by floor, I think about my schedule. Check emails. Attend the morning meeting. Finish the report from yesterday. A busy day, but that's okay. The elevator stops on the 7th floor. I walk into the marketing department. The lights are bright. Some coworkers are already typing at their desks. Others are chatting near the coffee machine. Laughter mixes with the soft hum of computers. A normal workday begins. Good morning, Alex, I say. He looks up and smiles. Morning. You're early today. I laugh, trying to be productive before the chaos starts. He chuckles. Smart move. Coffee is still hot if you want some. Thanks, I say, walking toward the break area. As I pour myself a cup of coffee, I hear two colleagues talking behind me. I was on Zoom until 10 last night, Sophie says with a tired laugh. Jenna replies, you work too hard. I turn and smile. Wow, Sophie, that's dedication. She grins. Or poor time management. Still figuring that out. We all laugh together. A light moment before work fully takes over. I return to my desk. Sunlight falls across my table. For a second, I pause and enjoy the calm. I open my laptop, take a sip of coffee, and check my inbox. Then I see my manager, Thomas, walking by with a cup of tea. Morning, Leo, he says. Can I see you in my office for 2 minutes? Sure, I reply, trying to sound calm, even though my heart beats a little faster. I follow him into his office. He closes the door gently behind us. Unexpected meetings always make me nervous. I take a quiet breath and wait. Thomas sits down and opens a file on his desk. He looks at me for a moment. I read your client report from last week, he says. I sit a little straighter in my chair, trying to understand his expression. Okay, I reply carefully. He looks up from the papers and smiles. I just wanted to tell you it was solid work. Especially the section on customer feedback. It was detailed, practical, and very clear. A wave of relief moves through me. I was expecting criticism, but instead, I hear praise. Thank you, I say honestly. I was worried it might have too much detail. He shakes his head. No, that's exactly what we need. You've improved a lot since your first month here. I nod. I've been working on my communication. English used to be my biggest fear. Thomas leans back in his chair. I didn't know that, he says. Honestly, you speak clearly and with confidence. That matters more than perfect grammar. I smile, feeling a little embarrassed, but also proud. I used to write everything down, I admit. I still do sometimes. I practice phrases and repeat sentences. It helps me feel more natural. He nods. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It shows. Then he adds, I'm assigning you to the presentation next week. My heart skips a beat. You mean the one for the European clients? Yes, he says. You'll lead it with Sophie. I think it's time you take the lead. For a second, my mind freezes. My first instinct is to say no, to say I'm not ready. But then I remember the old version of myself. The one who stayed quiet in meetings, afraid to speak. That version of me is gone. I take a breath and say, I'll do it. I'll give it my best. Thomas smiles. Good. That's what I like to hear. When I leave his office, my heart is still beating fast. But this time, it's not fear. It's excitement. Growth feels uncomfortable, but it's also powerful. Back at my desk, Sophie walks over with a cup of coffee. So, she says with a grin, I hear we're teammates now. I laugh. Looks like it. The big client presentation, she says. You'll do great. Just speak slowly and clearly. You already sound professional. Thanks, I reply. I've been practicing. I even talk to myself at home sometimes. She laughs. Same here. My cat thinks I've lost my mind. We both laugh together. It's a small moment, but it feels good. Only language learners truly understand this mix of effort, embarrassment, and small victories. After she leaves, I open my laptop and start planning. Slide by slide. Word by word. Sentence by sentence. I know something now. Every conversation matters. Every mistake teaches you something. Every moment of practice adds up. I wasn't born speaking fluent English. I didn't grow up with perfect grammar or fancy words. I learned slowly with patience and courage. And that's what makes this journey beautiful. It's not about sounding like a native speaker. It's about expressing yourself, connecting with people, believing that your voice deserves to be heard. As I work, I feel that small spark inside me again. The one that once whispered, yes, I can do this. Now, that voice feels stronger than ever. I showed up every day. I practiced. I failed. I tried again. And now, here I am. It's Friday afternoon. The clock on the wall shows 3:17 p.m. The office feels calm but full of that familiar Friday energy. Emails slow down. People smile more. Chairs roll, keyboards click, and someone hums a soft tune. I close my laptop, lean back in my chair, and take a deep breath. For the first time all day, I relax. Hey, Leo, a cheerful voice says behind me. Got any exciting plans for the weekend? It's Emily from the creative team. She's holding her coffee mug and smiling. I turn around. Nothing too exciting. Maybe sleep for 12 hours straight. She laughs. That sounds perfect. But seriously, anything fun? I think for a moment. I might go hiking on Saturday. There's a trail outside the city I've been wanting to try. Hiking, she says. That's cool. Alone or with friends? With Daniel and Michelle, I reply. We planned it last month, but the weather was bad. This time it looks perfect. Just then, Daniel walks over, full of energy as always. Did someone say my name? Emily smiles. We were talking about your big hike. Daniel laughs. I've been waiting all week. I even bought new hiking boots. Very expensive, but totally worth it. I grin. Let's hope they don't fall apart halfway up the mountain. If they do, Daniel says, I'll sit down and wait for you to rescue me. That's not how hiking works, Emily laughs. Michelle joins us, smiling. Let me guess. Daniel is already making excuses. False accusations, Daniel says dramatically. We all laugh. I check the clock again. 3:45 p.m. The day is almost over. People pack their bags and say cheerful goodbyes. I take one last sip of my now cold coffee and smile. It's been a good week. Full of effort, growth, and small wins. Tomorrow will be different. Quiet. Peaceful. Out in nature. Right now, this moment of laughter feels like the perfect ending to the week. No emails, I say with a smile. Just trees, birds, and long walks. Emily nods. That actually sounds amazing. I might try something new this weekend too. Like what? I ask. I signed up for a pottery class, she says. Daniel raises an eyebrow. Pottery? Like making bowls. Emily grins. Yes, Daniel. Bowls, plates, cups. Whatever I want. Michelle smiles, and the office fills with light laughter again. That sounds peaceful, I say. I think it's great to do something creative outside of work. Emily nods slowly. Yeah, I just want to do something that's not digital. Something real. Something you can touch. You know, something you make with your hands. For a moment, we all become quiet. Her words stay with us. Then I speak softly. That's the thing about weekends. They remind us that we're not just workers. We're people. Michelle nods. Exactly. All week we type, talk, solve problems, and stare at screens. The weekend is the only time we feel human again. Daniel suddenly sighs dramatically. Except when your mom asks you to fix everything in the house. We all burst out laughing. That's true, I say. Every time I visit my parents, I become the tech guy, the grocery guy, the electrician, and the taxi driver all in one day. Emily laughs. Same here. I love going home, but it's never relaxing. Still, I add with a smile, it's home. The laughter slowly fades. A soft, comfortable silence fills the office. We all understand that feeling, missing home, and needing rest at the same time. Then Michelle looks up. What about Sunday night? Any plans? Daniel grins proudly. I'm cooking. I promised my girlfriend I'd make dinner. Still looking for a recipe that doesn't burn. We laugh again. Start with pasta, I say. You can't go wrong with pasta. Emily shakes her head, smiling. Unless you forget the salt and cook it for 40 minutes. This time, everyone laughs even louder. The tiredness of the week melts away, replaced by warmth and easy friendship. Michelle checks her watch. Okay, I need to send one last email before I escape this place. Daniel stretches his arms. I'm already mentally outside. Emily finishes her coffee and puts the cup down. Enjoy your weekends, everyone. No overthinking. Just live. I nod. That's the plan. The office feels lighter now. Papers shuffle. Computers shut down. Chairs roll back. Soft laughter echoes one last time before fading into the evening. It's Saturday evening. My living room is quiet, but only for a moment. Outside, the city hums softly. Cars pass by. Somewhere, faint music plays. A dog barks in the distance. I sit on the couch and feel calm wrap around me like a soft blanket. The week is finally over. The meetings. The bus rides. The nervous moments. The small victories. Tomorrow, the mountain trail is waiting. But tonight is just peace. I look around my apartment. It's simple and warm, filled with soft light and the smell of fresh tea. I take a slow sip, lean back, and smile. Life doesn't have to be perfect to feel good. Sometimes it's enough to pause, breathe, and be thankful for how far you've come. Suddenly, the apartment door flies open. 5 people rush in, carrying colorful bags, balloons, and a big box of decorations. The quiet room fills with energy. Okay, we've got 1 hour before Leo arrives, Emily says quickly. Let's move. Michelle drops her bag on the couch. Where's the tape? I need to hang this banner. Daniel holds up a large cake box. I'm not moving until someone clears space for this masterpiece. Jenna laughs. You mean that last-minute cake you bought? Daniel looks offended. Excuse me. This is a handcrafted double chocolate cake made by professionals. Sophie grins. Let's hope Leo doesn't drop it like last year. Everyone laughs. Soon, balloons float near the ceiling. Streamers hang on the walls. Snacks cover the table. Soft music plays in the background. Do we have candles? Michelle asks. Yes, Jenna replies, holding them up. And a lighter. I'll turn off the lights, Sophie says. I'm closest to the switch. Daniel looks around the room. I can't believe we're doing this for the third year in a row. Emily smiles. Time flies, but some friendships are worth celebrating again and again. The clock moves closer to 7:30 p.m. He should be here any second, Michelle whispers. Everyone suddenly becomes quiet. A few seconds later, the door opens. Leo steps inside holding a small grocery bag. He looks around, confused. The lights are off. Why is it so dark? He asks. Click. The lights turn on. Surprise! Everyone shouts together. The room explodes with laughter and cheers. Leo freezes for a second, shocked. What is this? He asks, half smiling. Emily steps forward with a balloon. Happy birthday, Leo. We didn't forget. Leo looks around slowly. The decorations. The cake. The smiling faces. I thought you were all busy, he says quietly. Daniel grins. We were busy planning this. Leo laughs. You didn't have to do all this. That's exactly why we did, Sophie says gently. Michelle lifts the cake. Come on. Make a wish before Daniel eats it. Everyone laughs. As the candles are lit, the room glows warmly. Someone starts singing Happy Birthday. Soon, everyone joins in off-key, but full of love. Leo closes his eyes for a moment. He remembers who he used to be, quiet, shy, afraid to speak. Now, surrounded by laughter and light, he feels grateful. When he blows out the candles, it's more than a birthday wish. It's a thank you for friendship, growth, and courage. Put this on, Michelle says, handing him a colorful hat. It's tradition. Leo laughs. You just made my whole week. Daniel cuts a big slice of cake. First bite is yours. Leo takes a bite. Wow, this is actually really good. Told you, Daniel says proudly. Everyone sits down, cake in hand. The laughter softens into gentle conversation. So, Jenna teases, how does it feel to be older? Leo smiles. I feel lucky. Not because it's my birthday, but because I have all of you. Michelle nods. You're stronger now. And maybe a little more emotional. Leo laughs. That's true. I used to hate birthdays. But this feels different. Emily smiles softly. That's because this isn't about attention. It's about appreciation. And in that moment, surrounded by warmth and friendship, Leo knows one thing for sure. This journey, learning, growing, speaking, living, is worth every step. Sophie speaks softly, her voice warm and honest. You're always there for everyone, Leo. You help, you listen, you work hard, and you never complain. So tonight, we're here for you. Leo leans back in his chair. He stays quiet for a moment, deeply touched. You guys, he says slowly. You really didn't have to do this. Daniel waves his hand dramatically. Okay, enough speeches. Open the gifts before I change my mind and take mine back. Everyone laughs and cheers. Leo takes the small wrapped boxes. They are not expensive or fancy, but they feel special. He opens the first one. Inside is a clean leather notebook. For your big ideas, Jenna says with a smile. Leo nods. I love this. The second gift is a white mug. On it, bold letters say, keep going. Everyone laughs and Leo smiles. Perfect. Then Emily hands him a small photo frame. Inside is a picture from 2 years ago. All of them are standing together under the office lights, smiling. One of our best days, Sophie says. Leo holds the photo for a long moment. Then he opens the last box. Inside is a folded piece of paper. A handwritten note. He unfolds it carefully and reads out loud. Dear Leo, you may think you are ordinary, but to us, you are the reason Mondays feel easier. You remind us to keep going when things get hard. Today, we want you to know that you matter. Happy birthday. The room becomes quiet. Leo looks up. His eyes shine with emotion. I don't even know what to say, he whispers. Thank you. All of you. Emily smiles gently. You don't have to say anything. Just promise us one thing. Leo looks around. What's that? Michelle lifts her glass. Don't ever disappear on your birthday again. Leo laughs and wipes his eye. Deal. Everyone raises their glasses. Some hold juice. Some hold soda. Emily says, to friendship, to laughter, and to never forgetting what really matters. Together, they say to us. The night continues with music, jokes, and shared memories. Outside, city lights sparkle. Inside, the warmth of friendship shines brighter than any candle. Later, in a quiet cafe, Julia sits across from Leo. She speaks softly. That was beautiful. I never thought about it that way. Leo smiles gently. Cities are like people sometimes. You just have to notice the right things. Julia looks out the window. Sunlight dances on the street. And what about you? She asks. After everything, work, the birthday, the bus conversations, you seem different. Leo stirs his iced coffee and chuckles. I guess I am. I learned that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to speak up. It's okay to show up, even when it's scary. Julia raises an eyebrow. Was there one moment that changed everything? Leo thinks for a moment. Not one big moment. Small ones. Encouraging someone on the bus. Finishing a report I doubted myself on. Leading a presentation. I realized confidence isn't magic. It's practice, patience, and persistence. Julia smiles. You've really grown, Leo. I can see why people like you. Why they celebrate you. Leo laughs softly. Life gives you reminders. Friendships. Kindness. Moments when you realize you're stronger than you thought. Julia reaches across the table and gently squeezes his hand. I'm glad I'm noticing it now after all these years. They sit quietly, listening to the cafe sounds. Cups clink. Voices hum. Outside, life moves fast and messy. Inside, there is calm. Leo closes his notebook slowly and smiles. Some things never change. Julia tilts her head. Some things do. And some surprise you. Leo nods. Exactly. You can be invisible in a city, or you can shine. It's your choice. They laugh softly. Leo looks out the window. You know what I love most about this city? Julia leans forward. What? The mornings, he says. When the streets are quiet. The sky is waking up. One bird. One car. Life starting slowly. It feels calm but alive. Julia smiles. That's beautiful. Almost poetic. Leo shakes his head. It's not poetry. It's real life. She laughs and asks, what about food? What's still your favorite? Leo grins. Street corn with lemon and salt. Always perfect. Julia laughs. Some things never change. Neither does the vendor, Leo says. Same spot. Same smile. Julia sighs softly. I miss the night markets. The lights, the music, the smells. They're still there, Leo says. Fridays are calmer now. Soft jazz. The city feels warmer. Julia shakes her head. I've lived in 5 cities in 3 years. Clean, rich, fast cities. None felt like this. Why? Leo asks. They had roads, but no stories, she says. Buildings, but no soul. Here, the walls speak. You feel life. Leo nods. If you want beauty, go to postcard cities. If you want feeling, come here. Julia smiles. I wish more people knew that. Leo touches her hand gently. Then tell them. Tell the world what home really means. They sit quietly again. Outside, the city moves. Inside, something deeper stays. After a while, Julia stands up slowly. And the story continues softly, honestly, one moment at a time. Let's take a walk, Julia says softly. I want to see everything again. Leo closes his notebook and stands up. Let's go, he replies with a smile. I'll show you the new bridge, the old trees, and the same cafe where we used to sit with no money and very big dreams. Everything has changed, but somehow it's still the same. They step outside together. The city feels alive. The sun is low in the sky. Soft clouds float above them, and a gentle wind moves through the streets. Leo puts on his jacket, picks up a reusable shopping bag, and they start walking. These are the streets they once knew so well. Shops are open. People walk past them. Children laugh as they run ahead of their parents. A street musician plays soft music on the corner. Leo points toward the river. See that bridge, he says. It's new. At night, it looks beautiful. The lights reflect on the water. You would love it. Julia nods and smiles. And those old trees, she says, pointing. They're taller now. Stronger. Older. Just like us. They walk slowly, talking and remembering. They share stories of old adventures, quiet secrets, and small moments that once felt unimportant, but now feel very special. The city speaks to them through familiar sounds. People chatting. A bicycle bell ringing. Cars moving far away. The smell of fresh bread comes from a nearby bakery. They stop near a small cafe. It is the same cafe where they once sat for hours. No money. Big dreams. Endless hope. Leo looks inside and whispers, still the same. Julia smiles. Some things never change, even when everything else does. They keep walking. Laughter mixes with city noise. The wind carries memories, feelings, and the promise of new stories. As they walk together, Leo realizes something important. Home is not just a place. Home is people. Home is moments. Home is the feeling that you belong. Later, Leo walks toward a local grocery store. He usually does not enjoy shopping, but today feels different. He feels calm. He feels slow. He feels ready to notice small things. When he steps inside, the door chimes softly. Bright lights shine above him. Gentle music plays. The smell of fresh bread fills the air. It feels warm and familiar. Near the entrance, a young woman is stacking apples. She looks up and smiles. Good afternoon, sir. Let me know if you need any help, she says. Leo smiles back. Thank you. I'm just looking around. He takes a small shopping cart and walks into the fruit and vegetable aisle. He picks up an avocado and presses it gently. Still hard. Not ready yet, he says quietly. The green color, the smooth skin, the small imperfections, it all feels satisfying. Suddenly, someone taps his shoulder. Leo, a voice says. He turns around. It's Daniel, his friend from work. You shop here too? Daniel asks, surprised. I do now, Leo replies with a grin. Daniel looks at Leo's cart. Wow, that's the healthiest cart I've ever seen. Are you opening a salad shop? Leo laughs. Not really. I'm just trying to eat better. Fewer chips. More color on my plate. Daniel holds up a pack of cookies. I'm here to destroy my diet. These are my weakness. They laugh together. They walk toward the bread section. The smell of warm bread fills the air. I always get stuck here, Daniel says. So many choices. Whole wheat. Multigrain. Sourdough. What do you buy? Leo thinks. Sourdough for toast. Multigrain for sandwiches. Daniel laughs. You sound like a bread expert. Leo shrugs. Too much cooking videos online. They continue walking, slowly and easily. At the dairy section, Leo stops. Is almond milk better than oat milk? He asks. Daniel smiles. Oat milk is creamier. Almond milk is lighter. Try both. Leo puts one of each into his cart. I always forget one thing when I shop, Daniel says. That's why I make a list, Leo replies. Daniel pulls out his phone. I make a list too. I just forget to check it. They both laugh. An older woman nearby hears them and smiles. It's nice to see young people enjoying simple things, she says. Leo nods politely and feels warm inside. As they move through the store, Leo notices details he usually ignores. Bright vegetables, shiny apples, the quiet sound of refrigerators, small labels on every shelf. He feels happy for no big reason. Just calm. Just present. Daniel stops at the snack aisle. I think the chips are calling me, he says. Go ahead, Leo replies. Just don't tell your doctor. They keep talking about work, life, and weekend plans. At the checkout line, Leo feels lighter. The cart is full, not only with food, but with peace. Outside, sunlight touches their faces. Daniel smiles. You know, today's shopping wasn't boring. Leo nods. Yeah, it was a small adventure. And sometimes, that is more than enough. I think that happens to everyone, Leo says quietly. Then he turns to Daniel and adds, You know what I really love about shopping? Daniel raises an eyebrow, curious. What? At first, I thought it was no lines, Leo says, then laughs and shakes his head. But no, it's the small moments. Daniel listens. A quiet song playing over the speakers, Leo continues. A stranger smiling at you. A child laughing somewhere in the store. You're alone, but you're not lonely. Everything feels calm. Daniel thinks for a moment. You always notice the deeper side of things, he says softly. Leo shrugs. Life teaches you that. When you slow down, you start to see more. They walk toward the meat and frozen food section. Daniel looks uncomfortable. I usually avoid this area, Daniel says. Too much plastic everywhere. Leo nods. I know. I try to buy fresh food when I can. But sometimes convenience wins. Soon, they reach the checkout line. It is calm and quiet. A young cashier smiles at them. Hello. Did you find everything okay? Yes, thank you, Leo replies warmly. Daniel places his cookies on the counter and grins. And I found a few things I didn't even need. The cashier laughs softly as she scans their items. Do you need any bags? Leo shakes his head. No, I brought my own. I'm trying to reduce waste. That's great, the cashier says with a smile. Thank you for doing that. They wait quietly for a moment, listening to soft background music. Daniel looks around and says, You know, I used to hate grocery shopping. Now it almost feels like therapy. Leo smiles. I think it's because we're not rushing anymore. Daniel nods. Maybe. Or maybe we're finally growing up. They pay, thank the cashier, and step outside. The wind is gentle now. The sun is setting, covering the streets in soft golden light. The grocery bags feel lighter than they should, as if they carry more than food. They carry peace. So, Daniel asks, What are you cooking tonight? Leo laughs. Vegetables stir-fry. Maybe some soup. Daniel raises his eyebrows. Wow, you're officially an adult. Only on Sundays, Leo jokes. They wave goodbye and walk in opposite directions. As Leo walks home, he doesn't feel tired. He feels full not of food, but of calm. The soft music in the store, the laughter from another aisle, the smell of oranges and fresh bread, the polite words from strangers, all of it feels quietly beautiful. He notices the street lights turning on. Leaves move gently in the wind. The sky slowly grows darker. Life doesn't need to be loud or fast to be meaningful, he thinks. Sometimes real life hides in small, ordinary moments. It's Friday night, 7:15 p.m. Leo walks the last few blocks to his apartment, thinking about the meal he will cook and the quiet evening ahead. Sometimes it's enough to notice the music, a smile, or a simple moment of peace. Those moments last. Later that evening, the restaurant is busy, but not noisy. Warm lights glow above. Soft music plays. Glasses clink gently. The air smells like garlic, roasted vegetables, and fresh bread. Leo walks in with Emily and Daniel. They are happy to leave work behind. No cooking tonight, Daniel says. Just food and laughter. A waiter smiles. Good evening. Table for 3. Yes, please, Leo replies. They sit by the window. Outside, the street looks calm and alive. Nice view, Daniel says. You can see everything from here. Emily laughs. I'm just here for the food. The waiter returns. My name is Alex. I'll be your server tonight. Thank you, Leo says. Daniel studies the menu and sighs. Everything here has a name I can't pronounce. Leo chuckles. Just pick something with chicken. Emily smiles. I want something creamy, but also spicy. That's a risky choice, Leo teases. Life is short, Emily replies. Daniel points at a dish. What is this one? Leo reads. Pasta with lemon cream sauce. Daniel grins. I'll take it. Sounds expensive. They laugh. When Alex returns, Emily asks about spice levels. Leo orders salmon. Daniel orders pasta and iced tea. They sit back, relaxed, enjoying the warm atmosphere. I love places like this, Daniel says. You can slow down and just be. Leo smiles. And in that moment, everything feels just right. Everything feels fancy, but still cozy, Daniel says softly. You don't feel rushed. You can actually enjoy being here. Emily nods. Exactly. It's the little things. The quiet music, the smell of the food, the lights shining on the glasses. It makes you feel like you belong somewhere. Leo smiles. And tonight, that's exactly what we need. A small pause, a little comfort, and good food with friends. They sit quietly for a moment, watching the kitchen staff work behind the counter. The chefs move calmly and carefully. Soft conversations float through the air, gentle and relaxed. Life feels slower here. They start talking about work, sharing funny stories and small problems from the week. They tease each other, laugh easily, and talk about life. Outside the window, the city looks busy. But inside the restaurant, time feels different. It feels slower and kinder. Soon, the food arrives. The grilled salmon shines under the warm lights. The vegetables look fresh and colorful. The pasta smells creamy with a light lemon scent. Emily's spicy pasta sends warm steam into the air. Daniel takes his first bite and nods slowly. Worth every penny, he whispers, smiling. They eat slowly, enjoying every bite. They talk, laugh, and relax. Outside, cars move fast. Inside, everything feels calm and safe. The waiter smiles. Great choices. I'll bring your drinks soon. When he leaves, Daniel leans back. This place feels peaceful. Emily agrees. I like restaurants that don't rush you. Some places make you eat fast and leave. Leo nods. Here, you can really talk. You can breathe. Daniel takes a deep breath. That's what I needed after this week. Meetings, emails, deadlines. I just want good food and a quiet moment. Emily smiles softly. You know, I used to feel nervous ordering food in English. Daniel looks surprised. Really? Yes, Emily says. When the waiter spoke fast, I panicked. I just pointed and said, this one. Leo laughs gently. Same here. I was always afraid they would ask questions I couldn't understand. Daniel laughs too. I still freeze when they ask, soup or salad? My brain just stops. They all laugh together. Emily says, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Leo nods. It's not about perfect English. It's about staying calm. Daniel adds, and learning small helpful phrases like, can I ask something, or what's in this dish? Just then, the waiter returns with the plates. Spicy chicken pasta. he says to Emily. Grilled salmon with vegetables, he says to Leo. Tagliatelle al limone, he says to Daniel. Daniel looks at his plate. This looks too good to eat. Emily smells her food. Wow, that smell. Leo takes a bite and smiles. Perfect. They eat slowly, enjoying the food and the moment. Halfway through the meal, Daniel's fork slips and falls to the floor with a loud sound. The waiter comes quickly. Are you okay? Daniel laughs. Yes, sorry. My hand slipped. No problem, the waiter says kindly. I'll bring a clean fork. Leo smiles at Daniel. You handled that well. Daniel shrugs. I've embarrassed myself so many times, I stopped caring. Emily laughs. That's the secret. Just enjoy the moment. They finish their food. The plates are almost empty. The soft music, warm lights, and quiet voices make the restaurant feel like a small, safe world. Leo leans back. That was exactly what we needed. Emily nods. Simple. Peaceful. Perfect. Daniel smiles. We should do this more often. Slow nights, good food, no rush. They sit quietly, sipping their drinks. Outside, city lights glow softly. Inside, everything feels complete. The waiter returns. Would you like dessert? Leo smiles. We're full, but maybe we can share one. Emily asks, what do you recommend? The waiter smiles brightly. Our chocolate lava cake. Daniel grins. You had me at chocolate. They order one cake. When it arrives, they laugh and share it slowly. The chocolate is warm and rich, melting gently on the plate. They talk about nothing important. They smile more than they have all week. And in that simple moment, good food, quiet laughter, and no pressure, they feel calm, connected, and truly present. Later, the waiter brought the bill and placed it gently on the table. Leo picked it up without thinking. I'll cover it, he said with a smile. Emily and Daniel reacted immediately. No way, Daniel said, raising his hand. We split. Leo laughed softly. Okay. Next time, you can pay. They all laughed and agreed. There was no tension, only warmth. As they walked out of the restaurant together, the street lights outside cast a soft golden glow on the sidewalk. Leo looked around and said quietly, you know, good food always tastes better with the right people. Emily nodded. Daniel smiled. They walked home feeling light, calm, and grateful. The next morning was Sunday. Leo walked into a small local art gallery by himself. The space was quiet and peaceful. Soft music played in the background, almost like a whisper. Sunlight poured in through large glass windows, filling the room with warm light. Leo moved slowly from one painting to another. He didn't rush. For him, art was a way to reset his mind. It helped him slow down, breathe, and feel calm. He stopped in front of a large abstract painting. The shapes looked messy and chaotic, but the colors were soft and gentle. A quiet voice beside him said, "Sometimes I look at art and feel nothing." Then suddenly, one painting just stops me. Leo turned his head. A woman stood next to him. She held a small notebook and looked closely at the painting. "I know what you mean," Leo said. "This one feels chaotic, but gentle at the same time." She smiled. "Exactly. Like a storm that doesn't want to destroy anything." They stood there in silence for a moment. It was not awkward. It felt comfortable. "I'm Ava," she said finally. "I'm Leo," he replied. "Nice to meet you," Ava said with a soft smile. "Nice to meet you too," Leo said. "Do you come here often?" she asked. Leo shook his head slightly. "Not often. Only when I need to hear myself think." Ava laughed softly. It was a light, easy laugh that fit the quiet space perfectly. They began walking through the gallery together. They stopped in front of different paintings, noticing small details, the brush strokes, the colors, the way light touched the walls. They didn't talk all the time, and that felt okay. Sometimes they just stood quietly, sharing the space. Leo realized he liked this kind of quiet companionship. After a while, they stopped in front of a painting with soft colors and gentle lines. "This one feels like hope," Ava said. Leo nodded. "Yes, like calm after a storm." They stayed there for a moment, letting the feeling sink in. When they finally left the gallery, the sunlight had moved across the floor. The space was almost empty now. Leo felt refreshed, lighter, as if the calm of the gallery had settled inside him. Outside, the city felt softer than before. Leo realized something important. Moments like slow dinners, shared desserts, quiet art galleries, and small conversations were what made life feel full. They were simple, but real. "That's a good reason," Leo said as they stepped outside. "I come here when I need to stop thinking." Ava smiled. "I think we're opposites." She pointed to a bench nearby. "Do you want to sit?" They sat side by side, leaving a comfortable space between them. "So, Leo," Ava asked, "what do you do when you're not trying to understand paintings?" Leo smiled. "I work in marketing. I help companies tell better stories." She nodded slowly. "A storyteller. That makes sense." "And you?" Leo asked. "I'm a writer," she said. "Well, I'm trying to be. I teach part-time and write when I can." "That's brave," Leo said without thinking. Ava looked surprised. "Brave?" "Yes," Leo said. "Telling your truth on paper isn't easy." She thought for a moment. "Maybe. Or maybe I'm just afraid to speak out loud, so I write instead." Leo nodded. "I used to be like that. I was afraid to speak English. Afraid people would judge my mistakes." "What changed?" Ava asked. "I stopped chasing perfection," Leo said. "I started chasing connection." Ava's eyes softened. "That's beautiful. Do you mind if I write that down?" Leo laughed. "Go ahead." She wrote carefully in her notebook. "Stop chasing perfection. Start chasing connection." "You seem comfortable with people," she said. "Only after I stopped trying to impress them," Leo replied. She smiled. "Do you think strangers can become friends after one conversation?" "Yes," Leo said. "If they're honest." Ava nodded. "I moved to this city 6 weeks ago. I don't know many people yet." "Well," Leo said with a small grin, "you know one now." She looked at him warmly. "Thank you. That means more than you think." They sat quietly for a moment. The silence felt gentle and easy. "What do you write about?" Leo asked. "Real things," Ava said. "Silence, shame, small victories, conversations that don't go anywhere. People who feel too much." "The world needs that," Leo said softly. She looked at him. "What about you? Do you love your job?" Leo thought for a moment. "I like it. But I love moments like this more. When two people meet and just talk." Ava smiled deeply. "I feel the same way." They stayed there a little longer, letting the sunlight warm the floor around them. Words were not always needed. Sometimes, being seen and being heard was enough. In that quiet moment, Leo felt something simple but powerful: connection. And that, he realized, was what this journey was really about. The next morning was Sunday. Fluent English Journey walked into a local art gallery alone. The space was quiet. Soft music played in the background. Sunlight poured through large glass windows and filled the room with warm light. He moved slowly from one painting to another, not rushing at all. For him, art was a way to reset his mind. It helped him pause, breathe, and feel calm. He stopped in front of a large abstract painting. The shapes looked messy, but the colors were soft and gentle. A voice beside him said quietly, "Sometimes I look at art and feel nothing. And then suddenly, one painting stops me." Fluent English Journey turned his head. A woman stood next to him. She held a notebook and stared at the painting. "I understand," he replied. This one feels chaotic, but also gentle. She smiled. Exactly. Like a storm that doesn't want to hurt anything. They stood there in comfortable silence, both looking at the painting. After a moment, she spoke again. I'm Ava. I'm Fluent English Journey, he said with a small smile. Nice to meet you, she replied. Do you come here often? Not really, he said. Only when I need quiet time to hear my own thoughts. She laughed softly. It was a light, warm laugh that fit the quiet room. They walked through the gallery together. They stopped at different paintings. They talked sometimes and stayed silent sometimes. They noticed small details, the brush strokes, the colors, the way light touched the walls. Fluent English Journey realized he enjoyed this quiet companionship. Words were not always necessary. At one painting with soft colors and gentle lines, Ava pointed and said, "This one feels like hope." He nodded. Yes, like calm after a storm. They stayed there for a while, letting the feeling sink in. When they finally left, the gallery was almost empty. The sunlight had moved across the floor. Fluent English Journey felt refreshed and peaceful. Outside, the city felt softer than before. He realized that slow meals, quiet galleries, small talks, and shared moments were what made life meaningful. They sat on a bench outside. So, Ava asked, "What do you do?" He smiled. "I work in marketing. I help companies tell better stories." "A storyteller," she said. "That makes sense." "And you?" he asked. "I'm a writer," she said softly. "I teach part-time and write when I can." "That's brave," he said honestly. "Brave?" she asked, surprised. "Yes," he replied. "Writing your truth isn't easy." She smiled and wrote something in her notebook. Stop chasing perfection. Start chasing connection. Later that evening, Fluent English Journey sat at home with his family for Sunday dinner. The table was warm and full of food. Soft music played in the background. Emily pointed at the salad bowl. "Did you make this?" He nodded. "Just mixed whatever was fresh." "It looks great," she said. His father smiled. "Eating together like this makes life feel simpler." His mother nodded. These little moments matter most. They ate quietly for a moment, feeling calm and connected. After dinner, the conversation turned thoughtful. "I used to be afraid to speak," Fluent English Journey said. "Especially English. I was scared of making mistakes." Emily asked, "What changed?" "I stopped trying to be perfect," he said. "I started trying to be real." His parents listened quietly, proud and supportive. That night, Fluent English Journey realized something important. Learning English was not just about grammar or vocabulary. It was about courage. It was about speaking honestly. It was about connection. And that is what Fluent English Journey truly means. It's about finding the confidence to speak, even when you make mistakes, Fluent English Journey said softly. His father looked at him with a gentle smile. "And you found that confidence?" he asked. Fluent English Journey smiled back. He felt proud, but also humble. "I'm still finding it," he said honestly. "But nights like this, sitting together, talking, laughing, help me find it more and more." The family began clearing the table together. No one rushed. They talked and laughed while they worked. Plates were stacked. Silverware was washed and dried. Glasses were rinsed and placed away. Fluent English Journey stood at the sink while Emily dried the plates beside him. She looked at him and smiled. "Do you remember when we used to argue about who had to wash the dishes?" she asked. He laughed softly. "We still do," he replied. Emily looked at him seriously for a moment. "You know," she said, "you're a really good brother." "I don't say that often, but it's true." He smiled at her. "And you're not so bad yourself." That was how the night ended. Not with big speeches. Not with dramatic moments. It ended quietly, with dishes, laughter, small stories, and the warmth of being home. These ordinary moments were gentle, but they made life feel full. The next day was Saturday afternoon. The weather outside was cool. A light breeze made it perfect for walking. Inside the mall, the air felt bright and alive. People walked around with shopping bags. Soft music played through the speakers above. Fluent English Journey walked into a large international clothing store with his close friend, Ava. She was looking for a dress for an upcoming event. He didn't plan to buy anything, but he enjoyed walking with her. A friendly sales associate greeted them. "Welcome. Let us know if you need any help." Fluent English Journey nodded politely. "Thank you. We're just browsing for now." They walked slowly through the store. Shelves were neatly stacked with folded shirts. Jackets hung on racks. Shoes and accessories lined the walls. Ava picked up a deep blue dress and held it up. "What do you think?" she asked. He looked at it and smiled. "Honestly," he said, "if you don't buy that dress, I might." Ava laughed. "Flattery won't work," she teased. Then she pointed to a black coat nearby. "You should try that one." Fluent English Journey picked it up and touched the fabric. "This actually feels really nice," he said. A store assistant walked over. "Would you like to try it on?" "Yes," he said. "Is there a fitting room?" She guided him toward the fitting area. As he walked, he felt amused. A simple shopping trip had become something unexpectedly meaningful. He thought about how small moments, washing dishes, walking in a store, talking with a friend, quietly shaped who he was becoming. Ava waited outside the fitting room, scrolling on her phone and smiling at him now and then. Their friendship was easy. Silence never felt awkward. Fluent English Journey tried on the coat and adjusted the sleeves. He felt calm, comfortable. He stepped out. "Well?" he asked. Ava smiled widely. "You look good. Maybe too good. Now I want one too." They both laughed. And in that laughter, in that simple store filled with music and people, he felt something warm and satisfying. The joy of ordinary life. The comfort of friendship. The power of small moments. The assistant returned with another size. "Would you like to try this one?" "Yes, thank you," Fluent English Journey said. He tried it on. This one fit better. When he stepped out, Ava nodded with confidence. "That's you," she said. "That coat fits who you are." He looked in the mirror and smiled, not because of the coat, but because of the moment. Because he felt seen. Because he felt supported. "I'll take it," he said quietly. The assistant smiled. "Would you like to pay here or at the front counter?" "Front counter is fine," Fluent English Journey replied. Together, he and Ava walked forward, carrying their choices with them, simple, ordinary, and meaningful. The cashier greeted them with a warm smile. "Did you find everything you needed today?" she asked. "Yes," Fluent English Journey replied with a small smile and maybe a little more. The cashier laughed softly. "Would you like a bag?" "Yes, please," he said. "And would you like your receipt emailed or printed?" she asked. "Email is perfect," he replied. They paid for their items, took their bags, and walked out of the store together. Outside, the sun was slowly setting. Warm light touched the street and made everything feel softer. Fluent English Journey carried the coat carefully. It was not just a coat. It felt like a decision. A small step forward. A moment of confidence. Ava walked beside him, talking lightly about nothing important. And yet, it felt important. He realized that ordinary moments, shopping, walking, sharing small laughs, could feel quietly powerful. They didn't need drama. They didn't need perfection. They only needed to be real. For the first time in a long while, Fluent English Journey felt fully present. Fully himself. Quietly happy. As they left the mall, Ava turned to him and smiled thoughtfully. "You know," she said, "shopping isn't only about buying things." He tilted his head. "What do you mean?" She laughed softly. It's about choosing the version of yourself you want the world to see. He nodded slowly, thinking. Then he smiled. I hope the world is ready. They both laughed and kept walking under the fading colors of the sunset sky. By 9:15 p.m., the city had grown quiet. The noise of the day faded away. Cool air filled the streets. Fluent English Journey walked alone under the soft glow of streetlights. His hands were in his pockets. His phone was silent. He didn't need music tonight. He needed space. A few people passed by, a man walking his dog, a woman talking on her phone, a boy riding a bicycle. But he didn't focus on them. He was listening to something quieter. Something inside himself. He whispered softly, words meant only for him. You did well today. You showed up. You were kind. You tried. That is enough. He looked up at the sky. The stars were hidden by city lights, but the night still felt beautiful. He continued walking and speaking gently to himself. I know you're tired. I know you want things to move faster. I know there's still fear when you speak. But you're not who you used to be. Turning a corner, he passed a small bakery. It was closed now. He smiled. I remember when I couldn't even order coffee in English, he thought. I used to panic. I used to stay silent just to avoid speaking. He laughed quietly at the memory. Now I can order. I can ask questions. I can help others. I can speak, even when it's not perfect. He walked on. A shop window reflected his image. He stopped and looked at himself, not with pride, not with judgment, but with curiosity. You're growing, he whispered. Some people don't see it. That's okay. Some days you don't feel it. That's okay too. Step by step. Word by word. Sentence by sentence. You're building something real. He took a deep breath. Cool air filled his lungs. It doesn't have to happen all at once. Small steps matter. He continued walking through the quiet street. The city felt calm, alive in a gentle way. He felt proud, not because of a perfect day, not because of success, but because he showed up for himself. He faced the world, imperfect and nervous, and still moved forward. He caught his reflection again and smiled. It wasn't for anyone else. Just for him. That's enough, he whispered. He took out his phone and opened his notes. He typed slowly. Day 176. I spoke without fear for 10 minutes with a stranger. Fluent English Journey smiled, put his phone away, and kept walking, quiet, steady, and becoming more himself with every step. She smiled. Fluent English Journey smiled back. He locked his phone and put it away. There was no need to post anything online. No need to show the world. No need to prove anything. Some victories are quiet, but they're deep. And they matter. He walked past a small park. A swing moved slowly in the cool night air. The street was calm. The city felt gentle. He whispered to himself, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be here. You don't need big words. You just need real ones. He knew it was true. Even if no one noticed. Even if no one clapped. These small moments of courage were enough. He stopped walking for a moment and looked around. Everything felt safe, silent, peaceful. And in that stillness, he said the sentence that changed everything for him. I may be alone right now, but I am not empty. I am building something. And I am proud. He took a deep breath. The cool wind touched his face. He felt a quiet strength inside his chest. His voice, once unsure and shaking, no longer felt strange to him. It felt like his own. Slowly, Fluent English Journey turned and walked toward home. He did not rush. He did not drag his feet. He walked steadily, like someone who trusted the road ahead. Each step felt meaningful. Each breath felt like a small win. He thought about how far he had come. He remembered the fear, the silence, The way he avoided speaking English because he was afraid of mistakes. Now, every word he spoke was a victory. Every sentence was progress. He smiled quietly. Learning English was not about perfection. It was about bravery. Even in the quiet night, he felt proud. Proud that he showed up. Proud that he tried. Proud that he did not give up. Every small effort added up. Every conversation. Every sentence. Every step forward. He was not behind. He was not late. He was exactly where he needed to be. The streetlights glowed softly around him. The air was cool and calm. Fluent English journey felt alive. Not because of big success, but because of small, steady progress. He knew he was building confidence, building courage, building a voice that would carry him forward. Tonight, he did not need praise. He did not need attention. He knew his own growth. And that was enough. The quiet victories, the steady courage, the honest moments, they were shaping his future. Every small step mattered. Every effort counted. He whispered softly to himself, like a promise. Keep going. Speak more. Think in English. Believe in yourself. Your voice matters. Your dreams matter. And with that, Fluent English journey continued walking home. The night wrapped around him gently. He felt calm. He felt confident. He felt quietly proud. He knew tomorrow would bring new chances to speak, to grow, to become stronger. Step by step, word by word, he was moving forward. The path was not easy, but it was his. And tonight, that was enough.